Hey, hey, beautiful people, and welcome to Crowns and Conversation, the space where every story is honored and every journey is valid, and crowned or not, you belong here. I'm your host, Frankie Purdy, your reigning University United Miss 2025. I'm a wellness advocate and a lover of all things pageants, purpose, and power. Crowns and Conversations about creating a space for real talk with real queens doing real things, whether it's about platform building, growth, or what's in your crown box. We're here to celebrate the story behind the sparkle. And today's guest is one you're going to absolutely need to know. So grab your tea and let's get into this royal conversation. All right, y'all, let me introduce a queen who is the definition of brilliance, service, and unstoppable Black excellence. Born and raised in Kansas, she is a proud HBCU graduate of Tuskegee University, a doctor of physical therapy, and a champion for diversity in science and education and healthcare. She is the founder of STEMsational Kids, a powerful platform that inspires youth, especially Black children, to embrace science, their own brilliance, and see themselves in spaces they've never imagined. And yes, she also made history as the first African American woman crowned as Mrs. Missouri. And she is also your reigning Mrs. Midwest. Please welcome to Crowns and Conversations, the dynamic, the determined, and the STEM queen herself, Dr. Brandy, y'all.
Hello.
Woo!
Thank you for that warm introduction. Thank you so much.
Girl, it's the least thing I can offer you, child. We've been trying to get this thing on the books for a while. If y'all have been here for a while, we had this big debacle with Facebook Live. It failed me epically. And so since then, I found this really great platform. It's called StreamYard, and it's just been so much easier. I haven't had any problems since then. So, whew, thank you for that. So what have you been up to over these past months, Dr. Brandy?
Nothing much at all. I'm just getting started with the Miss Juneteenth pageant. We met with the girls last week, and this group of girls, I believe we have about 22 that will be participating in this year's pageant, and their first outing will be this Saturday in Kansas City for the Snake Parade. So I'm looking forward to that, and the Miss Juneteenth pageant will be May 31st, 2026 at 6 p.m. at the Gym Theater in Kansas City, Missouri.
And I have to tell y'all, if y'all are in that area, y'all have to. That isn't how Brandy and I met. I was one of their judges last year, and I had an amazing time. They put on an amazing program for these girls. They pay what I would consider to be an affordable flat rate. It includes everything they need for this pageant: their gowns, their hair, their makeup. How many weeks is it? 16 weeks or 8 weeks?
So I would say from the first week of March until the last week of May. So 12 weeks or 16 weeks or so for these girls to get everything that you said. They get to take a tour of City Hall. We do an etiquette brunch. We provide them with dresses from Natalie M. And these aren't just dresses that someone's giving away. These are brand new $1,000 dresses that the girls don't have to pay anything for.
Yes, ma'am. I actually end up getting a dress from Natalie Bees. I got a Sherry Hill $800 dress. So I can contest that the gowns they are receiving are top notch. These are not, like you said, giveaway gowns. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but just to put it into context in terms of the level of sponsorship and the way the community is backing this community is amazing, to say the least. And I think that has a testament to do on the ladies who are putting it on. So I congratulate you to that. Since our last time, I actually am a director of a Miss Juneteenth pageant as well. So yes, girl. And I'm trying to tell you, it is a lot of work. Trying to find things to keep the girls engaged, to make it a warming experience, and just to really bring girls into pageantry, because a lot of girls who look like us, that they don't think it's accessible to them or it's not necessarily for them. And I'm sure you can probably say you've seen the same thing, but a lot of these girls, the pageant bug bites them and they're ready to move on to other events and wants to know how to continue on that journey. And
We've
Go
had
ahead.
several girls from our pageant go on to Miss Missouri Volunteer, Miss Missouri Outstanding Teen. So it's not just about being Miss Juneteenth, but everything that can come after that.
And I have to say, girl, these talents, when I say, I mean, we had an opera singer last year. We had a violinist last year. We had some powerful original spoken word. Girl, like,
We did.
talking
They are
about some powerhouse talent. It was
absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing what these girls come up with next year, or this year actually, and I can't wait to May 31st. It's going to be here before I know it. So I'm
girl.
excited.
I was trying to find a way to get back down there this year so I could come because it's
You are
definitely.
always invited.
Well,
Always invited.
I appreciate it and I definitely feel welcomed. But yes, girl. So let's talk about what's in your crown box. So I know we have that normally standing by.
I have mine. So I have my crown from Mrs. Midwest. I have my crown.
Yes, girl.
So
Go
I have
keep
that.
keep
If
it
it
on,
will
sis.
stay on. I have my Mrs. Midwest sash. So I have that. I have my number from when I was crowned, number 56. I also have, what was I? Second runner up. I believe this was in the orientation part. So I did a brief introduction to myself and who I was, and I got second runner up for that. And I also have a Mrs. Midwest t-shirt. I also have a KD Stylings t-shirt in my crown box as well. And KD Stylings was one of our sponsors for the Mrs. Midwest pageant this past year.
Okay, well that's fun.
So there's a lot of stuff that goes in there, can be stuffed in there.
I know that's right. I need that crown box to be a catch-all for everything. I know I keep pens, sunglasses, tampons, earrings, cash, and then I always have
you never know what you'll need.
I have my little travel companion.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. So they are on my crown box, keeping me company as I move through these streets.
Good.
But as we move into some things, I want to get into your platform, STEMsational Kids. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I love.
Yes.
Okay. It just sounds so interesting because I do know like for girls there's definitely a lacking, and I don't even know what the percentage is for Black children and the percentage of lack in STEM or what their involvement in STEM is. So please, can you talk some more about that?
So I'm an advocate for all things STEM. My background was in biology. I have a master's in exercise science, and my doctoral degree was in physical therapy. So anything that can bring interest to kids in the world of science, technology, engineering, and math to get them into the door, I'm all for. So this year, my nephew, he'll be joining me at my school, Kansas City University, for an anatomy class where he gets to learn everything anatomy. He'll get certified in CPR, and he's only 13. So anything that can get kids in the door and get them interested, especially at a younger age, that will help to follow them throughout high school or throughout college is something that I am an advocate for.
I love that. And so because we did talk about that, right? There is a lack of female presence in STEM, right? We learned to be a little bit different normally, right? So what intrigued you I'm assuming that this started at a young age. This sounds like all your degrees kind of like line up with STEM. But where did it stem from? No pun intended.
Even when I was younger, I was interested in science, everything from fossils, learning about dinosaurs, those types of things just came easy to me. And not that it was just easy, but I enjoyed it. I loved learning about all of those different things. And so when I got to college, I learned that I can take those things that I had a love for and that I can actually major in and I can actually be employed in. And so that is something that I've just kind of followed me along. So I learned to love it on early and it's just followed me along. And that's something that I want to share with other young girls or young boys, that they can do exactly what they love. I am one of 4% of Black physical therapists around the country, and so I'm an advocate for getting more African American students involved in being physical therapy assistant students or doctors of physical therapy, so that we can increase that number, because I work in an area where that number is lacking. And the patients that I see look like me, look like you, and they need someone to be in the rooms to advocate for themselves. And that is what I hope to bring on and hope to share with other people coming behind me.
That is so true. So, like normally we keep this kind of light, but I got the expert on the line, so we're just going to dig into it. But systemic racism in the medical field, in the healthcare field, we know that's a real thing. People will try to tell us it's not, but we know it is. So I definitely agree that it's so important to have somebody there that looks like you to advocate, because we understand those statistics of what that looks like for our races when it comes to certain things. I watched something the other day, and it was talking about the lung capacity. There was a machine that someone built, and it's already like you have to put the age and you have to put the race in there, and it automatically calibrates based off of that. So you're already getting a skewed representation of the information.
Absolutely. There are so many things. Even if you take your pulse ox, and pulse ox became really popular during COVID. It's a little machine that you put on your finger, and it measures how much oxygen you have. That automatically is decrease in African Americans due to melanin in our skin. And so when we say we can't breathe, or when we say it's hard for me to inhale, those numbers are already skewed because of technology. And if we have people who won't listen to us, or who don't know the facts, or who don't know how we as African American may present in those emergency situations, they may just, chuck it up to, they don't know what they're talking about, or they're exaggerating. So there needs to be someone who knows these things, who is an advocate for people who look just like me, you, our family members, who we can say, hey, this is a real thing. I believe them, and I'm going to try to do my best to make sure that they're taken care of.
Well, I definitely appreciate, because that's a large undertaking. It's very large. So I appreciate you, girl, putting us on your back and carrying us, girl. Look, because I'm trying to tell you, we have doctors in our family too, and I know, like, when my grandparents were ill, my uncle, who's a doctor, married to my aunt, so her husband came down to make sure that my grandmother was getting the type of care that she needed and being looked over the way she was supposed to. And by having him there, it kind of put people in their place, like, doctor, like, he's here, and he's gonna school you.
And it's sad that it has to take something like that for people to actually listen.
It is sad. It's very much sad, but definitely for family members to advocate, because it's sad, like you said, it's sad that we have all these stories, but my aunt, with my uncle, she also had to look at his papers, because they almost gave him another medication that was going to react with the medication he was currently taking, and it would have caused him to have a seizure. Just so, like, please, family members, don't advocate for your family members, and do not stand down. You pitch a fit, act a fool, because this could be life and death, literally.
It could be, yes.
So we definitely appreciate you, Dr. Brandy, by bringing us that knowledge in that front, and encouraging our young people to get better interested and better acquainted in the area of STEM, because it's very important. So I have a question. I have a question. I was going to say a pageant, but what drew you to pageantry? Because you have a few other titles. I didn't name all your titles. I just named the two that came that I had, but you have other titles as well. Can we talk about some of those titles?
I was Dr. Missouri in 2020, I believe, and I was crowned Dr. America in 2021, and I was crowned Tournament of Queens in, if that was 21, then it would have been 2023, 24. And Tournament of Queens is it was a group of ladies, all different ages, all different past titles, and we just came together through the Dr. World Productions, and they had Tournament of Queens, and I was crowned the first Tournament of Queens. I'm trying to see what else. I was Miss Black Kansas, USA in 2004. That was over 20 years ago. And I did a couple of pageants at Tuskegee University. I've helped to put on some pageant productions as well. And really, it started with the Miss Black and Gold pageant with Gamma Phi fraternity at Tuskegee University, Alpha Phi Alpha Gamma Phi chapter at Tuskegee University. And I just went out for Miss Black and Gold wanting to get a book scholarship. And I came up first runner up. And so that kind of started the bug for pageantry. And then one day we were watching a pageant and I went to my husband. I was like, I wonder if they have pageants for married women. And that was in 2017, 2018. And I did a couple of Mrs. pageants before I landed at Mrs. Missouri 2018. And that is where I was crowned.
I know that's right. What was your experience at the national level, on the national stage in that program?
Well, every pageant has their issues. Every pageant has their issues. But what I learned was that pageantry can bring women together. Pageantry can foster relationships with people you otherwise would probably not have any relationships with. And so some of those women that I was in that pageant with in 2018, I'm still friends with today. There was Miss Delaware. I've spoken to her kindergarten class, was either kindergarten or first grade class, and I had my crown and sash with me. And so it just fosters an environment where women can support women. My roommate was Mrs. Kansas, Miss Anissa Pfeiffer, and she was first runner-up. And we still talk as one of my, good pageant friends till this day. And so it can just foster all types of relationships with people you otherwise would not get to know. And that's something that I'll just hold on to.
I love that because I talk about that often, about fostering sisterhood. Everyone has their own reasoning or background on why they start pageantry. Some say for confidence, some say to build sisterhood. I'm a military person, and actually was speaking to another military person and said, she just wants to do something that just would really engulf her in femininity. So, everyone has their own reasoning. So I always just love, and a lot of it really does revolve back to sisterhood,
right?
Just being there for each other, because these things are tough, right? You're getting on the stage and being judged by anywhere from, depending on how many judges, 5 to 4 judges who are literally judging you on your look, on your style. And so, being in a group of women who are all going through the same thing that you are is definitely something that brings you together and brings you closer. I've had similar experiences with all my pageant stuff where I meet people, we're still friends to this day, competed on the pageants together. We see each other around like, hey, it's like nice, like, oh, I got more friends. Like, I'm the only child. So for me, my friendships mean a lot to me. And so I have really gained a lot of new friends from engulfing in the pageant, because I'm the same thing as you. I was like, don't they have married women, right? And so I kind of had the same thing happen to me as well, on that front for sure. So let me see. Oh, I have a note here. It says you are a proud member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
And that is correct. That is correct.
And we know that is definitely a giant sisterhood. It's also service-based. How would you say that affiliation has supported you with your pageant journey?
When I was crowned Mrs. Missouri, I got a text message from my line sister, and she said, Brandy, did you win? And she messaged someone else, I think Brandy won. And I actually did. So they've been supportive of me from the start. We also, my chapter, Xi Tau Omega, Alpha Kappa Alpha Xi Tau Omega of Granby, Missouri. We also hold a pageant called Little Miss AKA every year. And every year, my portion of my service to this pageant, I teach the girls etiquette. I teach the little girls how to bow, how to curtsy, how to walk, all of those different things. And they enjoy it. They love it. And so I try to instill in them what I have learned in pageantry and through this pageant as well.
That's so awesome. And you have a daughter as well, correct?
I do. She's done one pageant. She loves it, but I don't know if mommy can take two people doing a pageant at the same time. So, but she's in dance, so hopefully when she's older, she'll be able to use that and get on the stage as well.
That's interesting, right? Because like I also have another segment that I do. It's called Behind the Crown, where I just give people my personal opinion about different things. And one of those topics have been, when is the appropriate? I don't want to say appropriate because I don't like that word. I don't like that word in this sentence. But when is the best time to introduce or put your kids in pageants? Because we know you can start at 0 years old.
Well, she started when she may have been 3, and she was wiry during that time. Then she did another one the next year and placed she won her age division. And so I've always thought about, she knows it. And one thing is she sees me doing it, and she sees the other little girls from Juneteenth doing it. And so she knows what it means to be on the stage, but it always depends on the kid. It always depends on the kid. And I never want to do something where I'm making her do it. I want her to do it because she likes to do it.
I think that's been the consensus with folks who have the younger girls. Because I know a young lady, boy, her daughter has more dresses than me. And she is just at 1 year old. And I know it's a rush for her because, her daughter is doing very well. And I know that is definitely something. I met another young lady. I think her daughter's like 6, and her daughter, I mean, she's just so comfortable on stage. You can tell that she's definitely enjoying it. No one is making her go up there and do it. But, we've all seen the kids. You can tell this is not where they want to be.
Yes. So you want to make it enjoyable for them. So then when they get to do it when they're older, they can still enjoy it.
I agree. I definitely agree. So some questions for you. What would you say has been like your biggest like OMG moment in your pageantry, like in your pageant journey? Like, oh, wow, I really did that, or whatever that OMG moment was.
Well, when I went out for Mrs. Missouri in 2018, that was my second time doing it. And when I was crowned, I still, even though I knew I did my best, I was like, my swimsuit, I was on point, my evening gown, all of those things. I just, it was my best. But even when I was crowned, I still couldn't believe that the judges told me. So that's always a kind of a standout moment for me. But when I first started my journey with Juneteenth, I started with my own separate pageant in 2020. And I've had 2 girls from that pageant go on to become title holders. And so that's always good for me to see those girls grow within pageantry and know that I was part of their foundation for that.
I love that for sure. I can relate to the crowning moment being that OMG moment, because the crown I'm currently in, it was my second time going for it. And we talk about mindset, how important mindset is. It can't be just like, oh, I want to win. It's like, no, I want to win. So I'm doing this, and these things to get after it. And I really honed in. And so I know when I watch my crowning moment, I still tear up because I just know how much hard work I put into it didn't happen by osmosis, as my mom would say. So I can relate to that. And I can also relate into how important it is and how fulfilling it is when you've mentored someone and helped them walk through something and they were able to achieve a goal. So I definitely can relate to that as well. That's just like, oh, I think of like, so many girls, like mentorship is so important.
Yeah. Now they're 15 and 16 years old. And I'm just like, oh, I can't believe I'm like, am I getting old, or are they're just growing up in front of me? So I'm so blessed to have been a part of their journey.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Because yesterday was National Girl Scout Day. I've been a Girl Scout since I was 8 years old. I'm a lifetime member. I've been doing Girl Scouting my whole life, and I just think about all the girls that I have had that I've had the opportunity to mentor and just walk with them and just see where they are now. And like you said, I think I stopped aging a while ago and they're just growing, so we're going to go with that. but yeah, I just, when you say that, I just, it almost brings a tear to my eye. I love that. All right. So we got some rapid fire questions. It's going to be like a this or that. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to say, would you rather give a speech on your platform or do your evening gown walk?
Evening gown walk.
Okay. And then to go on that, if you had to go to an event, would you rather be in sneakers or heels?
Heels.
Okay.
It makes you I had that experience this weekend when I was at a conference, and I could tell the difference from my attitude in my sneakers to my attitude in my heels, and even how I present it. So I'm going to go with heels.
I know that's right. I know that's right. So if you have to go somewhere into an event, would you rather just be in sash or crown and sash?
Sash and crown, or just sash? Just sash.
Because I'm trying to tell you, the headgear, sometimes it don't want to act right. So I can definitely understand that. And then if we have to
just sash.
Yeah. So then if we have to go with the after pageant snack, are we going for hamburger or are we going for salad?
I am not. I would say neither, and I would say pizza.
Okay. Love it. Yes, but pretty much we're going with more of the junk food side.
Greasy, anything with a lot of carbs in it.
All righty. So you know what? Every time I do these, I just cannot believe how fast the time goes. But it's been 26 minutes. It's been like 10. Like this hasn't been long at all. But I have just a few closing questions just to leave our viewers with. If you had to give advice to a queen that was preparing for her first pageant, what would that advice be?
My advice would be to use your money wisely. The judges don't know how much your evening gown costs. The judges don't know how much any of your wardrobe costs. But I would say use your money wisely. Use your money wisely. When I won Mrs. Midwest, I had a secondhand gown on, something that I got from a dress giveaway. And I felt like $1 million. So I'd say use your money wisely and focus on the things that the judges really think that matters.
I love that. That's great advice. Heed that advice, y'all, because pageantry is expensive more than just you got to get there, hotel, food, gas. It's a lot. So definitely, I'm for Dr. Brandy with that. And then lastly, if you could leave one legacy of the title holder, what would that be?
I think a legacy that I would leave as a title holder would just be service. It's not about the crown, it's not about the sash, but it's what you do with that crown and that sash. Are you helping to motivate people? Are you helping to make someone else's life better? So I would say service.
I love that. Well, Brandy, thank you so much for your time. I'm so happy we were able to get back on this call because I feel like what you offered to the viewers today was so impactful, and they're definitely going to be thinking about it for a few days after for sure. So thank you so much. And it was a joy having you on for sure.
Thank you.
And I definitely will let you know the next time I'm in Kansas City, honey.
Yes. You always have an open invitation.
Thank you so much. All right, girl. Talk to you another time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.